I sat among colleagues at the Zildjian factory. We had been flown out as a group of music educators to learn more about Zildjian's legacy and how we can better prepare the future generation of drummers. At the time, I was the youngest in our party, and perhaps too eager to prove myself, I posed a question to our host. A question I would soon regret asking. You see, Zildjian had just acquired Vic Firth drumsticks. And for years, Vic Firth had placed an American flag on their stick. So, making small talk, I asked, regarding the American flag on Vic Firth sticks, do you place it at the Fulcrum on purpose, or is that just a happy accident? The air sucked out of the room. I didn't know why, but I had unintentionally outed myself as an amateur. The Zildjian rep's response was crushing. That's not where the Fulcrum is. I had sat on the council, but was not given the rank of master. For years, I had understood the American flag marked where you would hold your grip. It was a nice rule of thumb for a good bounce. Pun intended. That one simple question outed my understanding of the drumstick. I had so much more to learn. After the meeting, I asked my teacher what they meant. He chided, compassionately, "The fulcrum moves." Coming from the original Latin to prop up, we now define fulcrum as the pivot point around which a lever turns. Imagine that teeter-totter. If you hold it perfectly in the middle and both sides are balanced, you can go up and down. You notice how the drumstick isn't perfectly balanced on both sides? One end tapers off, and to account for that reduction in mass, we move the pivot point, or our teeter-totter equilibrium, behind the middle. In fact, the fulcrum is always moving, trying to maintain equilibrium, and the tool that we use is going to differ from person to person, just like our body differs too. So of course they can't account for that with marketing. Still a nice rule of thumb, but we can do better. Since we know the tool that we're working with, and we know the physics behind it, we can optimize. So to optimize our bounce, let's further define our constraints. What would happen if we did hold the stick at the exact middle? Placing your fulcrum at this extreme won't yield good results. Much like a game of keepy-uppy, the balloon will dally its way back towards the ground. The lower on the stick you hold, the less predictable your rebounds. It's a lot like a flat basketball. It'll bounce, but it won't dribble. You'll notice the shape of each bounce changes depending on where you're holding the stick. Sometimes we hold the stick too tight. I like to get my hands to relax by isolating the finger I'm holding the stick with. I start with my pinky. Find the point on your drumstick where you can hold it with just your pinky and achieve 4 evenly spaced bounces. Begin alternating, slowly closing the gap between them until we have a pattern as smooth as a paved road. We can do the same with 2. We can do the same with 3, 5, 7. It all depends on where we hold the stick. And this is why the fulcrum moves, because our needs change. Real creativity, it's all about pathways of motion. Good. Take this week and hone that skill. Our next video is going to cover the metronome. If you're excited, leave a like and a comment, subscribe, and I look forward to our next meeting.